And it's time for a third in our series of the Debt Relief Radio Show with attorney Ziona Kopolovic in the studios with me live this 20th day, isn't it? The 20th of February already, 2013. Ziona, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you. She, of course, runs the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa. You heard me talking about this morning. And if it looks like bankruptcy is in your future, give Ziona a call and her offices a call. It's a great place to start. She's ready to help you in every single way. And we're going to be talking about some of those ways today. But before we get to talking to Ziona, let me remind you the phone lines are open. 796-7272, 796-7272 if you have a question or, even a specific kind of question to yourself. Or if you're outside of Hernando County and you're listening, there is the toll-free line, 1-888-613-2050, 1-888-613-2050. You can get to Ziona Kopolovic. I've gotten good at that.
You have improved tremendously.
I really have gotten very great at it.
It sounds like a name now rather than a string of syllables.
Yes, and actually sounds like a name now. And that's a good thing. And so we've gone through her history, the other two shows, so I'm not going to go through her history again, but she's from Israel originally. And she has been in America since the early 60s and been practicing down in Newport Richey because her law offices are actually in Newport Richey. You've been there how long?
I've been practicing in Newport Richey probably for 15 years or so.
Yeah.
But my own office for the last 5 years.
That's great. So, and her office, again, is called Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay. That's the name of her law offices. The phone number we'll give here and we'll give again at the end of the show, 727-849-3328, 727-849-3328, bankruptcytampabay.com. Bankruptcytampabay.com is her website. So there you have all the information. We'll try to repeat it at the end of the show. We kind of concentrate on talking about bankruptcy because that's what she really works with, trying to work you through bankruptcy.
Okay, well, basically people come to me when they are distressed financially, when their financial life falls apart, then I'm a good address for that to come and repair it. So we try to repair it in several ways. If we can repair the problems without going through a bankruptcy, then that's a good solution. Mm-hmm. If we can do debt settlements for clients, we'll do that. And
to help keep them out of bankruptcy.
To help keep them out of bankruptcy.
And there's so many, that's like a many-fingered thing, debt settlement.
Well, yes and no. I mean, when we do that, usually we talk to the credit card company where a person might have a debt and see how we can reduce the debt, how we can bring the debt down to a manageable figure so that the debt will go away and credit can be restored and life goes on.
And a lot of these companies will do it.
A lot of them
because
will do
they want some of the money if they can get it. Some is better than none.
Yeah, curiously enough, most times they will not do it directly with the debtor. No. They want you to go through an attorney, and then they know that the negotiation is going to be a steady in a deal, a steady kind of event and a deal, and they'll get some of their money back. So they will talk to us, and we have gotten some pretty good deals to our clients. Yeah. And at times we can't do that. Or, to do that settlement, oftentimes you have to have some money available to you to be able to send it to the credit card company. So if you cannot do that, that's not the solution for you, then we look at the option of doing a bankruptcy. And again, we have to go through your finances. You have to go to your financial history, through the debts that you have, the assets that you have, income, expenses. We have an all-around evaluation of your financial situation, and then make a determination whether you need to be in a Chapter 7 or if you need to file a Chapter 13. But either way, you're looking at resolving the overwhelming debt that you have, the feeling that
the hopeless feeling.
You don't know what step to take next. So we're there for you to help
a lot of
you
people
clean
like
it
that.
up.
And then you help with debt. I'm sorry, not with debt, but with credit restoration.
With credit restoration.
Tell us a little about what that is.
Well, oftentimes there are many mistakes that are made on credit reporting, and by the credit reporting agency. I think CBS had a program about it about a week ago or so.
And in fact, it's amazing. It's like 20%.
20% of reportings are erroneous.
Are wrong.
And 10% really impact your ability to receive credit, which is, for whoever is touched by it, is a disaster, financial disaster. Right. So we try to mediate between you and the credit reporting agencies and demand that they correct the erroneous reporting.
I mean, people need to think about that number 20%. That's 1 in every 5. Right. 1 in every 5 has erroneous information on it that may be holding you back from getting lower interest rates, all kinds of things.
Getting a loan period.
Yeah.
Never mind the interest rate.
Yeah, but I mean, your rating does influence that interest rate, and if you have a low number because of erroneous reports, your interest rate goes up. You're losing a lot of money over erroneous reporting. I assume you suggest that people get their once-a-year credit report.
That is correct. And to get your free credit report, you have to go to annualcreditreport.com. Okay, and not free credit report, but annualcreditreport.com, and that would allow you to get a free credit report. Now, the way to do it is, since the 3 major reporting agencies participate in that program, to ask for a credit report from a different one every 4 months. So this way you can monitor your credit throughout the year, because you have 3 companies. Every 4 months, you're covered for 12 months.
So you should go and ask for one.
Just for one. Let's say you ask just for Experian now.
Okay.
And in 4 months, you ask for a different company to give you a credit report.
So, and if I find something erroneous, I call Ziona.
Right.
I mean, because me calling the company is not going to get it changed.
Probably not. I believe that what we heard is that about 15 or so % of your erroneous credit will be handled by a person.
Yeah.
Actually, a person that has no authority to change it, but at least it will be a person. And the rest of it is being determined automatically by a computer.
Yeah.
So that the results that you can achieve yourself at times is very limited.
It really is, because the power of an attorney like yourself is worth the dollars that you spend, especially when we're talking about this credit thing like this.
That is correct.
Like when they hear from your attorney, they pay much closer attention.
They pay attention, right.
They really do, yeah.
Right.
Attorney at law seems to have some magical effect.
That's right.
There you go.
The law of magic.
Yeah, it just gets their attention a little bit better. And so you'll do that for people. If they find these erroneous reports, give you a call. And by the way, she's here to answer your questions, not just mine. 796-7272 if you have some specific questions. Like, how do you determine that? One I've always figured and I think I asked you this in the very first show, how do I know when bankruptcy is the only thing left? Are you the one that's going to tell me that?
Often people come to me, they already know.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm smart enough, Ziona. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when the bills come and you cannot pay them, it's either eating, paying the electric bill, or paying your credit card bill. Well, obviously, hopefully you choose for Publix. You pay for your groceries, you pay for your electric bill, you pay for medical care if that's, if you need to put down your copay before you pay your credit card. So if you get to that situation where you cannot, the end of the month comes, you have no money left to pay your creditors, your credit cards, then you need to do something about it. If the creditors keep calling you, obviously. If they don't call you, fine, you're
Leave it
good.
alone.
Leave it alone, But if they call you, if they bother you, you get lawsuits, and you yourself realize you cannot take care of it. Come and see us. We would be happy to help you, happy to put you in a better financial situation, in a better psychological situation, because you don't have to worry about it.
I think we have a call. So you need to put those earphones on, or you won't be able to hear the caller. And they're on the that long-distance line. If you're calling from outside Hernando County, 888-613-2050, or, of course, 796-7272. Let's go to the phone, and you're on the air with Ziona. Go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, hi there. Now, what are we talking about today?
We're talking to Ziona Kopolovich about bankruptcy right now.
Oh my goodness!
Were you calling haywire?
No, actually, I was not.
Oh, yeah. Well, who are you calling?
Wrong number, I guess.
I guess so. That sounds like it. I don't know. We'll let him go. I don't know what that was about, Ziona. That was way beyond. This is the Debt Relief Radio Show, in case people don't know. That's what this is. And Ziona Kopolovich is the attorney that is the owner of the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay, and she's happy to talk to you and answer your questions. That's the point I want to make. 796-7272 locally, or you can use that outside number that you can get you in here to talk about if you have some specific questions. Now, if a person comes in, and of course you get them to do some homework.
Of course.
About what they have. We've talked about this. They've got to really write out a thing about what valuable things they own.
Well, basically, we give our clients a questionnaire. So
okay, all right.
You have to answer questions. So we have all the questions that would lead you to give us information that we need. And we also, sometimes you don't know all your creditors. I mean, some debts are really old and people move, papers get misplaced, and they don't know who they owe what. So we run the credit report for our clients as well, and we find if the debt was reported, we will find it. And we go through all the debts that you have. We go through all the assets that you have, assets versus liabilities. We go through your income. And we go through your expenses. Basically, this is how the analysis is done. Mm-hmm. And we file the case for you. Once a case is filed, 30 days later, we would go to Tampa. In this area, we go to Tampa, to the location of the bankruptcy court in the Tampa division, and we meet with a trustee. It's not as formal as it would be if you go to court. So basically, you meet with a trustee at the other end of a desk. It's very informal. And you get to tell the trustee what brings you there and what kind of relief you're looking for and why. It is a relaxed meeting. It's not adversarial. The trustees
That's what I was going to ask. Is there someone on the other side of the table fighting you?
Not most of the time, no. The trustees here are very polite, very professional. They would ask you maybe what brings you here. Obviously, they want to know who you are. What is your name? They want to make sure it's not your cousin who took some debts out in your name and now he's filing under your name, right? Yeah. So it's although it's a formal proceeding, it is informal in nature. It is not like going to court.
So it's not terrifying.
It's not terrifying, and I'm there with my clients. So I'm there to watch to make sure that everything is handled properly.
Now, if you're American Airlines, that might be a different situation. But we're talking about individuals that don't have that kind of problem.
No, not at all.
Because I assume the trustees, the judges, if you will, just look over everything and try to come up with a really good solution for everybody.
The solution is, in most cases, especially in the Chapter 7, is that you walk away from your credit card debt, you walk away from your medical debts, you walk away from old rent. If you want to surrender items, give them back to the lender. For example, if you want to give back your home in this economy, you just don't want to make the payments, you can't afford to make the payments.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get rid of your car without suffering the deficiency that comes with just giving it back to your car lender, then Chapter 7 would be a solution for you.
I want to go over this again with you because so many people have this wrong. And even after the last program where we went over this, people I know that were listening still don't get it. Because we're all led to believe that if I bankrupt, I'm dead for 7 years. I'm done. I cannot do anything. I may as well crawl in a hole and just sit there for 7 years.
Well, this is a misconception.
I know, and it's a big one. That's why we keep repeating it. Because I want people to understand it's not so.
We're doing what we can to dispel that myth.
Yeah, exactly.
Bankruptcy, counterintuitively, helps you restore your credit. It helps put you back in the financial life of your community. So it is true that a bankruptcy will be reported on your credit report for a period of 10 years if it's a Chapter 7 or a period of 7 years if it's a Chapter 13. But it does not mean that you're not credit worthy. Your credit can be repaired within a year to 2 years. Within 2 years, you can get a loan for a home, for example.
So I hope you're listening carefully now. 2 years.
2 years, you can qualify for a mortgage, buy a new home. The creditors are not interested in putting you in a box and not giving you money. Lenders want to lend money because this is how they make money.
Mm-hmm.
So after a bankruptcy, you have no other debt to pull you down. You can now afford to pay on a new debt. You can afford to make payments on a new commitment because you don't have anything else weighing you down. So in a way, you're a better credit risk after bankruptcy than before bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
Before bankruptcy, you may have $10,000, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 in credit card debt. How do you pay that back?
Yeah,
you can't.
And so you can't borrow any money, so you're done.
You can't borrow any money, and you're done.
But that's smart what you're saying, and I hope people understand this. Once you do the bankruptcy, you owe no money.
You don't.
So you're a better credit risk owing nothing than you are owing $50,000.
That is correct. That is correct.
And do you ever have trouble making people get that? Because I seem to.
No. No. I told you, often I feel like a respiration therapy when I talk to my clients. They come in and they're all choked up and with a greenish tint to their skin. They're so upset about the debts that they have. And when we go through the bankruptcy discussion and they see how their life is going to be a calmer life, no debt, and the debts that they want to keep, they can handle now, I see them take a deep breath and they become pink again.
Okay,
the
so
green tint is gone.
You brought up a very interesting thing. In other words, when you go to bankruptcy, you don't have to bankrupt all your debts. You can keep some of your debts and pay them.
Well, basically, you have to handle every class of creditors the same. Okay?
All right.
So when we talk about unsecured debt, that is credit cards, medical, whatever, you have to list all those. You have to walk away from those.
Mm-hmm.
But
you have to walk away from those.
Yeah. The bankruptcy process is to help you get ahead in life, not to stay in the same place. So if you have a visa that you're emotionally attached to because you've had it for 10 years, but you owe them $6,000, it doesn't make any sense to keep that Visa card because you're used to it. You just have to give it up. You have to cut the cord and say, okay, even though I'm current on my monthly payments, the debt is a large debt that I should not keep that obligation if I cannot keep it. So you get rid of that credit card. However, it does not mean that you have to get rid of your home. It does not mean that you have to get rid of your car. If you want to keep these obligations, that's fine. What you have to do is keep making your mortgage payments or keep making your car payments. Basically, you're reaffirming on these debts. You're re-obligating yourself to keep those payments. And that, in a way, that helps you restore your credit when you keep when you reaffirm, for example, on a vehicle, and you agree to make those payments in the future.
That helps immediately?
If you reaffirm, the creditor will report it on your credit report. And that obviously goes to help you restore your credit.
See, I hadn't thought of that. That's just a very interesting thing. Now, how does this work? Let's say, okay, we walk away from all of these unsecured debts and maybe some other debts. And after I get myself fixed, and okay, I don't have all these debts over me, but yet I have some money incoming. Can I go ahead and pay those debts anyway? If I have the money, can I then pay those debts, and will it help me if I do?
Well, I don't recommend it, really. I mean, to go pay back credit cards that you walked away from.
Okay.
But I'm talking about reaffirming on a vehicle,
right,
or on a home, and that will help you. Mm-hmm. That will help
but
you.
But it won't help you if you go back and pay those non-secured debts. It won't help you.
These are deals that you may cut with a specific creditor for whatever reasons you have.
I was just wondering if it helped.
But I really don't even see that.
Yeah. Nobody ever does that. You don't see that happening.
You don't get brownie points, for...
Well, wouldn't they report it? I mean, say, well, this guy walked away from our debt and then came back and paid us. Gee, that was pretty
well,
good.
Often the creditors won't even accept that because...
Really?
Yes, because the debt is discharged. There is an injunction, a permanent injunction against collecting that debt. So the creditors don't want to be hauled before a bankruptcy judge for violating bankruptcy laws.
Oh, but it wouldn't. If I did it and they accepted the money, I wouldn't be exposing myself to.
You're not exposing yourself. No, it's a creditor issue.
It's a creditor that's exposing himself.
Issue, right?
Huh? Okay.
So, and that's really not, that's not part of the bankruptcy. The reason for bankruptcy.
Yeah. Well, I know, but it just struck me as what would happen if a person decided to do it.
People who file a bankruptcy, or more particularly Chapter 7 bankruptcy, don't have the money to pay those debts. So it's really not a problem that people have after a bankruptcy, like, oh my God, now I have all this money. Should I go back and pay the creditors that I discharged? No, it's not. That's not a consideration. Usually it is, now that I don't have the debts, then I can pay my electric bill on time. I can pay my mortgage on time. I can maybe afford to send my child to a summer camp, something which I couldn't do before. So in most cases that I see, it relieves income for the family to take care of the family.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ziona Kopalovich is at the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay, located at 5422 Trouble Creek Road, Newport Richey. But here's the phone number. Get yourself into especially into a bankruptcy situation. Remember this number or call me and we'll give it to you. 727-849-3328. And you'll get to talk to Shannon?
Shannon, yes. Shannon is there waiting for your call.
All right. Or you can go online, bankruptcytampabay.com, and find out more about the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay, where you will get to meet Ziona Kopalovich yourself. Thank you so much, Ziona.
Thank you so much for having me.
We hope we'll have you back in 2 weeks.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to help our listeners.
Yep.
Put them on the right track.
Okay, thank you so much. And join us in 2 weeks, another edition of the Debt Relief Radio program.